Hello and welcome to another video from In3D Software. Today we are going to use Imos IX to create a handleless kitchen design, and we're going to use the new VR link module to take the production ready model from Imos and experience it in 3D via third-party software called Twinmotion, which will allow us to present our designs in videos, rendered images, and of course virtual reality. So the first step is to create the room, which I've already done here using the room set tools, and the next step will be to put the furniture in. So over here I can open up my stock handleless catalogue and search for panel, and here I now have all of my panels. I'm going to choose this panel here, and you can see it will orientate itself to whatever wall I hover over, and I'll put it down roughly here. And the next thing I want to search for then is grip, and I've got my grip profiles, so I want my left grip profile, and I'll drop that down. I'll just zoom in a bit here so we can see a bit more detail. Then I want a fridge unit, but I want to customize this, and you can see here our configuration options. So if I come in here, I can then choose what type of light I want. I'll drop this down next to it. Again, I want a grip unit, so I'll take the center grip, which will push the profile into the left and the right hand unit. And now I want my oven. So would it be tall? Here we are. And again, I want to specify my lights on this, of course, so I'll choose this. Okay. Again, I want a grip, but this time it's from the right hand side, so let's choose right, and here's my right grip. So you can see the live search here will just pick up on the descriptions of the products that I want, and I can then type in here that I want another panel. So here's my panel that I want, and I just click the plus. Okay. I now want some drawers, so I'll search for drawer, and here is the drawer unit that I want, so I'll just click on here. I have it at 900, which is exactly what I want, so I can just drop this in, put that up tight, and it's brought in my worktop and plinth. Next step would be my sink unit, so again let's bring in here my sink, and I'll change the width to be 900 again, and choose the type of sink that I want. So I'm going to choose this dual drainer type, add this to the basket, and in here we can see it will extend my sink and worktop together. Now because I already have my drawer unit here on the left hand side and I want it to be on the other side, rather than bringing it in from the library, I can simply choose to copy that product. So I'll copy that, put it on this side, and then over here I want an end panel, so if I search for panel, in here I've got my right hand vertical panel for handleless kitchen, so I'll just click on the plus, drop that down. Okay, we also need some wall units, so in here wall, and I will choose this one here. Again, I want to specify some lights on this. I'll keep it at 900, so it's the same width as below here, but maybe I want to change the brackets. So just as I'm doing this, a little explanation of the configuration. So within the software we have obviously the ability to customize and build our own catalogues. This database has been provided with the software, and what we can do is build a configurator that allows us to make certain customizations to each product. But this also means that we can impose restrictions. So for example, perhaps I don't want to make this cabinet any higher. So if I modify my product. Here you can see the height of this is locked rather than being able to be edited. So this allows you to pass the catalogue out to designers who may not have an intimate technical details knowledge, and they can't make changes to certain products. When it comes to this product, however, the one behind, I want to have a finished end panel on here. So if I go to my material, what we've done is said that we can choose a finished right hand side, which is the same as the front material. So as you can see in here now, that's then going to look the same. Okay. I want a splashback in here, and if I type in niche, I can have a glass splashback. And let's just customize what material I want this to be in. Perhaps this is some sort of tile or something like that. We can customize this later. I'll go with a dark grey maybe for now. And you can see in here I can then just drop this in wherever I need it. And then I can use the stretch article tool to select that, stretch it in a number of different directions. Just move that down using AutoCAD's Move tool. So the next step now then would be to build in the island. So if I come into a plan view, I can just type the word plan and then current plan, and what I'll do is I'll just isolate and show here that I've got a line on the floor here indicating the position of my island. So I'll just move this along ever so slightly so that it lines up roughly with my run of units on the back wall. And then what I want to do is put in a hob unit. So I'll pick my unit here. Okay, and if I hover over this bottom wall, it will orientate it so that it can be pushed into here. And I'll just eyeball this roughly here. It looks about right, in line with my sink. Obviously we can position this very accurately using the AutoCAD move and distance commands. So once we have this in position, the next step then would be to use the copy feature that I mentioned before. So we'll just hide this line for now. And if we do copy, we want to copy these drawers and put one either side. So again, got lots of drawers, and then I'll need a dishwasher here as well. So if I just type dish in my search, here's my dishwasher. And then I want another end unit in here just to line up with this one ever so slightly. So if I just type in here sink, it will give me my sink unit. But this time, rather than inserting another sink, I'll just say no sink is required. And then I can just drop this in at the end. I'll also need my end panels, and I have my end panel here, and again I can just use the copy command to make that change. So with that in mind, I can just use the copy tool, select the product, drop that in, and I'll need one on the other end as well, so I'll just say panel. In my search, find my left hand panel here, and now I need a rear panel running along the back here. Now if I bring back my line work by showing the elements here, what I can do is actually use the line I created before to create a bit of a breakfast bar area for my island. So what I'll do is just select a product, and you can see over here, once I have an item selected, I have my methods tab up here. I also have the properties, which will show me individual specification and details of each individual item. But if I come here, I can use the tool apart from polyline, and then if I click on this line work, it will then create my breakfast bar based on these settings that I've specified here. These are the last settings that I have created, and I can obviously customize these at any point if need be. So I'll just confirm that with a tick, and then the next thing I want to do is create a part from edge. So again, I can just select that rear edge there, and that will then create my bottom piece. I'll just create it with a tick, and again I want another part from edge, and I'll just select this rear edge here, and I need to make that a little bit longer here because obviously there's a step. So if I just go to the part height, I can just say that this should come all the way down to the floor. Okay, that looks a bit better. So what do we have here now? So if we just confirm our choice, we can orbit around and see that we have our kitchen almost complete. We need to get some other details in here. So for example, we'll need our profile. Let's type that into here, profile. These are under contiguous parts, so we should search under that area. And we have our handlers profiles, horizontal, and if I click on here, I want it to run across these three products, and you can see in here that's put that in. Now when we again go up in our level of detail, these notches will be taken out of our carcass, which I'll show you in a second. Let's orbit around, and again we want our profile to run across these three units. The dishwasher, which is here, already has it, so we don't need that, and then we just want it in here as well. And then in the top we want a left and right profile that's going to run all the way along our island, and we just need it to return on the right hand side of our back wall here. So what we want is just this one. So if I just click 1, 2, 3 in here, that's now putting our channel all the way around. So the next step then would be to create some rendered visualizations, and we can do this internally in Imos. We've always been able to do this using the excellent rendering engine that's provided by Autodesk. So what we can do is first of all come to our decorations tab, and we can look for in here our kitchen, and maybe we want a coffee machine. So in here we can add in some items, maybe a radio on the other side, etc. Perhaps a nice cup of coffee. Again, all of this information is provided with the stock database, so you can also add in more if you need. And what also will help with our rendered visualization is if we go up a level to level 6, this will refresh all of the data, and it will add in things like the hardware from Blum, Haefely, Hetic, Grass. We have a lot of production ready information with all the associated machining and drillings. It will also add in all of the edging tape details as well. So previously we just have simple panels without any edging information, but once the data is refreshed, it will also then include the edging and the edging sequences, and it will also include things like cutouts for the sinks, as you can see here. And once fully refreshed, we can orbit around and have a little look at detail quite in depth. So next step is So let's create a rendered visualization. We can use the internal rendering engine within Imos. So if we right click on here, we can go into a perspective view. And I'll just orbit around here slightly and just zoom in. So with my camera positioned just how I like it here, we can then select to adjust our exposure. Let's just drag this onto the screen here and put my environment on. And what I'll do is leave it at this current level here and just click render medium. So this is the internal rendering engine from Autodesk, and you can see here that once it's completed its first initialization, it'll run through, and if I just maximize this window here and zoom in, we have some nice reflections on our high gloss. But I think what we can do here is improve on this by using a larger render setting. So if I say render big, so the larger image will take a little bit longer to render than a smaller one. But you can already see that we're getting some nice details of reflections within the materials. So with our design now complete, the next step would be to create a 2D technical drawing. So this is quite easy. We can simply switch into a wireframe view, and in here you can see now we have a lot of the production information such as hinges, the drawers, etc. And if we go into a plan view, we can then ask for our 2D plan view to be created. So here's our 2D plan view. We can just drop this down here. And another new feature within Imos is the new dimensioning tool sets. So if we go into our view dimensioning, we can say that this plan view that's been created should be dimensioned, and in here we can customize what type of dimensions are created for different products. So in here we have blue dimensions for our base level products, black for worktops, and plinths and positions, red for the plinths and carcasses, magenta for wall units, and then green for walls, etc. But of course this can all be customised with different dimension styles if required. So the next step is to use the new feature VR link, and in here we can just go onto our desktop and then create a save, and this will now export our 3D production ready data into a file that can be read in to a third-party software. In this case we'll use Twinmotion, and we can import it in here. Let's switch over to Twinmotion now. So here is the results after we've imported the production ready data from Imos into Twinmotion. Obviously I've spent a bit of time here just adding in some additional items such as plants, decoration items, carpets, etc. This can be customised using the Twinmotion data sets as we have it as well. And what you'll notice is that this isn't actually a rendered image that's been produced from Twinmotion, not yet anyway. We actually have live data in here, so you can see outside the trees are blowing in the breeze, and I can look around this environment set up, showing that I have here prams, a little bit more decoration items, and I can get a feel for the environment. Obviously I can then export this data out and use it within virtual reality as well. So if I just want to navigate around the environment, that's quite easy to do. So for example, maybe I want to have a little look in here, and because the production data from Imos is well, incredibly accurate, because it needs to be for production purposes, we get a very nice kitchen environment in here at the same time. We can also, with the production data as well, if we just exit this area, we can come in and make some changes. So perhaps we want to maybe move our stool around, so we can move that a little bit further down. You'll see that we get a live update of the results straight away. Perhaps we want to customize the lighting, so if I select the lights, I can maybe increase the intensity of the lights and it'll get brighter, turn on shadows, turn off shadows, etc. So the powers that this offers the designers is really limitless in the sort of creative aspects of presenting the designs using the production ready data from Imos. Thanks for watching.